To my 7th session on income from house property. So far up to 6th session we have seen section 22, we have seen section 23, we have seen section 24. Now in this session I will be covering section 25, 26 and I will just give you a brief introduction for section 27. Now if you see from section 22 to 24 we have learned how to compute income from gross income from let out house property, gross income from self occupied house property, then gross income from deemed to be let out, and similarly then we have claimed the deductions and we have arrived at annual value, and then we have deducted municipal taxes and so on. So we have basically tried to understand how to compute a income when there is a let out property, when there is a self occupied house property, or when there is a deemed to be let out house property. Now we will move ahead and we will look after the section 25. Now what is this section 25? It talks about restriction on deduction of interest. Now if you see under section 24 we have a deduction available when we take a loan for construction, repair, renovations, etc. Of a house, and we can claim interest paid or accrued on such a house as a deduction under section 24. However, 25 gives a little bit extension to it, and it tries to explain that if you have paid this interest outside India, so it is payable outside India, and if you have paid without deducting tax at source, then such a deduction will not be allowed. So if you have taken a loan from a foreign sources and for that foreign source you have given an interest, because for them it is an earning, interest is an earning and they are supposed to pay income tax, but since they are not within our country, it is our responsibility, that is person who pays, it's his responsibility to deduct the tax at source, and if SSC fails to do that, then we cannot claim a deduction under section 24. That is about section 25. Now let us move ahead to section 25A. Okay. Now this is what section 25A is. What is it talking about? It is talking about special provisions for arrears of rent and unrealized rent received subsequently. If you remember, we have done two kind of deduction. One is that unrealized rent and another one is in vacancy. Unrealized rent we have done prior to computing a gross annual value in case of let out house property. So the rent which has been not paid by the tenants and if satisfies the condition of rule 4, we call it as an unrealized rent. Now unrealized rent, let us say an SSC has claimed an unrealized rent in 2018-19, okay, and shown that as an deducted from the values. And such a rent realized in the subsequent assessment year or previous year, let us say in 2019-20, the person has paid you, then in that case it will be treated as income, and it will be treated as income irrespective whether the SSC has a ownership title or not, and it will be taxable under the head income from other sources. So that is what called as an unrealized rent recovered subsequently by the SSC, and what will happen? It will be taxable in the year of receipt. So 2019-20 if it is received, then it will be taxable in 2019-20, and on such a unrealized rent you can claim the deduction of 30%. So 30% deduction which is there on net annual value which was seen previously, same deduction will be available on that unrealized rent and it will become an income of that year. Similarly, arrears of rent, similar things will happen with arrears of rent also. So person who has not paid the rent has come now, so that arrears of rent also in the year in which it is received, irrespective whether the owner is ownership title is there with the SSC or not, it will become income from house property and you can claim a deduction under that up to 30% of that value. So this is what section 25 talks about. Now let us move to the section 26. Section 26 basically deals with property owned by co-owners. Now let us say there are two owners who has a house. Let us say there is a house in Panjim, okay, who has been owned by X also and who has been owned by Y also. X and Y are these are two owners. Now how to compute the income when there are two owners? Okay, so that is what we are going to learn under section 26. So what is it saying? If the house is self-occupied, so house could be let out or the house could be self-occupied. If the house is self-occupied, okay, so what you do, you claim that house as one first, compute income as per the criteria of self-occupied house property, claim interest on borrowed capital, but we can claim this interest on borrowed capital separately, okay, for X as well as for Y. He can claim the limit of 30,000 and 2 lakh will be applicable. So, annually X will compute an annual value, then he will claim his interest if he has taken a loan for construction or for acquisition, then the interest will come a maximum up to 2 lakh. But if it is for repairs and renovation, then it will come up to 30,000. Similarly, Y will do. So, they can claim interest separately for each person and the limit will remain. This is in case of property owned by co-owner when it is a self-occupied house property. But if the property is let out, then what happens? If the property or part of the property is let out, then what we will do? We will compute the income from let out house property considering as one unit, and then at the end we will divide them as per their share and that will be taxable. So, this is what will be done in case of a property which has been let out. In case of a self-occupied house property, they can claim, both of them can claim a separated, so they can show separate share as self-occupied. But in case of a let out house property, first we will claim it as a combined, treating as one unit as a combined income from let out house property, and then we will share between as per their share. So, this is what section 26, and the last section is section 27, which is called as a deemed ownership. So, when does SSC become a deemed owner and how to compute a income under that will be called as a deemed owner. So, all these 7 videos of mine I have covered from section 22 to section 26, and meanwhile we have also taken examples how to compute income from each category. Lastly, I just want to tell you all and how to do a total problem. Suppose you have 4 houses. Let me give you a small example. If you have 4 houses, one house has been let out and 3 houses are vacant. So, we have to remember that one house which is let out will come as a let out house property. So, you will apply the rules of let out house property, that is you will claim, calculate expected rent. Then step 2, you will take annual rent after deducting unrealized. Step 3, you will compare both, higher value you will take, from that you will deduct vacancy, okay, and you will arrive at gross annual value. From that you will deduct municipal taxes paid and you will arrive at net annual value, and you will claim deduction under section 24, that is 30% standard deduction and interest on borrowed capital, which is actual. So, you will arrive at income from let out house property. This you will do. The second stage, now you have 3 houses which are vacant. You are not given them for rented purpose. The owner itself is using it for self-occupation, or they are remained vacant because he has gone for employment some other place. From assessment year 2021, he can claim 2 houses as self-occupied. The choice is given to SSC. So, house 2 or house 3 as per his choice, he will declare self-occupied and you will claim the steps of self-occupied. Annual value becomes nil, municipal tax becomes nil in case of house 2. Then only one deduction is allowed, that is section 24B, interest on borrowed capital. Limit will depend upon whether it is for construction or whether it is for purchase or whether it is for repairs or renovation. Repairs, renovation, then 30,000, construction then 2 lakh, but loan should be after 1st April 1999. So, this you will do in case of second house, and if he chooses the third house also self-occupied. Now, there is one more house which is left out, which is vacant, which is not let out. Still, you will claim that house as deemed to be let out house property, and you will apply the same rules which are done in case of let out, but you do not have here unrealized rent and you do not have here vacancy. So, what are you going to do? You will find out expected rent, then you will, there is no annual rent now, actual rent is not there. So, the expected rent itself becomes an gross annual value. From that you will deduct municipal tax, arrive at net annual value, claim standard deduction 30% and claim interest on borrowed capital for construction repairs as the case may be, if it is there. Alright. Now after doing this 4 houses kind of a category, you will, if there is an unrealized rent realized as per section 25 AA, then you will claim the income there and you will arrive at total income from house property. This is what section 22 to section 26 is talking about. Alright. So theoretically and by examples we have seen this, and we will continue doing the problems with lot of combinations maybe in next month, my video sessions which will come on the next month. Alright. So this is what I wanted to tell you all. So I have tried to summarize what I have done in the 7 videos. The references also I would like to give you all. This is what the references which I have referred. These are the books which I have referred. Of course with online references are also there to look after the latest dates. Okay. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I request you all to subscribe my videos. Thank you.